Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Summit Europe, powered by Twitch. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and I'm joined by a special guest here, Giannis. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How's everything been with you?
Good. For anyone who doesn't recognize him, this is Fogged, of course. I guess currently of NA Rejects. Rejects no longer, buddy.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
You're
man.
going to the international.
Feels really good, honestly. It was, not even a month ago, I thought I had no chance going to the international. I was ready to go, just like give up completely, and then now it's just like, wow, like, the dream is real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, what a TI to qualify for as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really wanted it. Like the players that we had on our team, we all just are so hungry for it after getting booted and over and over and over. So like, I don't know. We just, it's gonna be really fun.
You're fiending.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really fun. Yeah, we've been fiending. We want it so badly. We really do. It's not really any other way to put it.
And you got it. So
Yeah,
let's see how you do. I'm looking forward to watching you guys play this July. But guys, for today we've got the Summit Europe Grand Finals. Power Rangers, unfortunately, did have to take a default loss earlier today because of an unforeseen commitment on their end for the EMC LAN final. So as a result, it's going to be Fnatic facing off against Mousesports once again. They played them just yesterday. They got destroyed. 2-0'd in a very one-sided fashion. Seemed like Fnatic just wasn't really that prepared for the draft and just got punished by Mousesports.
Yeah, for sure.
With that being said, though, this is going to be a straight best-of-5. Mousesports as the winner bracket champions. We do give them the coin toss win, but the way that we look at it is basically the entire playoff bracket, the upper bracket, the lower bracket. These are just qualifiers for the grand finals. The winner of this best-of-5 comes here to Los Angeles, joins DK, Navi, Vici Gaming, NA Rejects, as well as EG.
Yeah.
You're also qualified for our event. So, wow.
Two right there. Wow.
There, 2 in a row. Well, with that being said, guys, game one's underway. It's a best-of-5. Let's go. And indeed, we're into the draft now.
No shocker coming out of Mousesports. You know, the Wisp is there. They're gonna pick that hero first pick. Like they're very comfortable with it. They know what they want to do with these heroes. There is a Potom left in the pool, and they didn't end up going for that first pick, which is a little shocking. But they were like, you know what, Wisp is way worth it, no matter what, either way.
And also against Fnatic. Generally, here you either want to ban or just deny them by taking it.
Yeah, exactly.
On your side early on.
Yeah, and we do see Fnatic go for the standard Shadow Demon Potom. They really want to control one of their lanes completely, and there's not much you can really do against that blue lane. It's super powerful. We've seen people running it non-stop all over the place. And we see Mouse pick up their Rubik, which they've been picking up very, very early a lot in these drafts, which I think is really strange because the heroes, we've seen it taper off a lot recently.
Yeah, Rubik's also a hero that has had, I mean, for some teams is very high impact, but can be underwhelming at times. It's a support that doesn't offer you much damage, needs his level 6 to really shine. I will say Misery's been sensational when he's played Rubik recently.
Yeah.
Stealing all the right spells, just seems to be basically wherever you need to be, he's already there. It's just been, I think that's been one of the biggest keys to success for Mouse from when I've watched them over the past 3-4 weeks. They've really started to improve their game, and it's just Misery's movement has been one of the highlights of the team's play.
He's really always been like that. The way he moves is just amazing. I've watched him. I played with him, and I actually learned a ton from him. Just the way he plays. He just sees the opportunities and just goes for it. He's like, you know what? There's no point wasting time. He just runs at people. He's like, oh, I'm ganking mid. No cares. Like, just runs at them, and he gets it. Like, it ends up working in certain scenarios because he reads the plays. He understands where the lane is, and he's like, you know what? I've got the opportunity, and he takes it.
Yeah, it does feel like he's just very decisive. Just watching him move around, and also can play other heroes, so it is interesting they take the Rubik early. His Bane's been very effective. I think that's one of his other big go-tos. In the past, we've seen Misery on the junglers, although they don't really run them much lately.
Yeah.
But now, Fog, we enter the second stage of the draft, and interestingly, Invoker was ignored. A hero that used to be like an automatic first pick. The Coswex Invoker got a bit of a nerf. Exhort Invoker pretty much untouched. There was a slight nerf to Necrobook in last
a little bit.
It seems more just like he's fallen out of favor as opposed to anything.
It just seems like every time people pick it, a team has a strategy versus it. People pick this Invoker, and then there's like, oh, like for us, I mean, specifically, you've been seeing if we do see an Invoker, we usually pick an Enchantress and we bully the hell out of that Invoker. Because if Invoker has a horrible start, the game is over. Like that hero, he doesn't catch up well because if you just take the opportunity, you seize the towers. He can't do anything if he doesn't have the levels he needs. You're just like, oh, I'm level 5. I have level 3 Exort. I have 1 Born Spirit running at you. It doesn't really do much.
And I have no items because I'm trying to build a Midas, or I have a Midas.
Exactly,
and no upgraded boots.
The curse of the Midas. But looking at Fnatic's bans, too, I mean, these are really just selective bans. They decided, you know what, we're just going to ban out Mouse's heroes. They love their AA. Mouse is drafted, I think, AA almost every single game when it's there, so it's no surprise to see that ban in the first two, which we didn't really talk about.
Yeah, that's like, I think that like their ideal tri-lane that when I've seen them get it is normally it's like an Ancient Apparition, either Bane or Rubik, and then Some sort of range right clicker. Miz or Pycat's Mirana, I think, has been the go-to.
Yeah.
Weaver, probably the second choice. And speaking of Weaver, he's still out there, though. Wouldn't necessarily fit as well with how they've drafted him. Now with the Puck pick. Maybe not a Weaver game.
Yeah, that's a pretty squishy Weaver there. I don't think you're going to really want that one. And they do have a lot of opportunity. They have, I mean, a lot of choices they can really do. They have the Wisp already set up. Tiny's not banned. Ursa's not banned. You know, all these other heroes that you can really pick with the Wisp. I personally don't even think you need a combo like that. You can pick anything with Wisp. You can pick Luna. You can pick really whatever. We did see Fnatic ban Gyrocopter, which is a little bit strange, but I think Mouse has been running it a bit, so...
I'm not sure. I haven't... there's so many games, you can't follow them all, but the games I've seen, Mouse has not shown many gyro picks.
So a little bit strange there.
They've run some Axe for MSS. They've been running a lot of Mirana and Weaver for Pycat, as mentioned. Fada has played Centaur. He's gone Puck and dominated on that. Yeah, Gyro it used to be one of the go-to partners with Wisp. Alliance liked their Gyro Wisp. I know DK was running it way back at MLG Columbus, but well, it's been a while since then.
Yeah, it has.
And Gyro is just not a very popular pick in general nowadays.
Game has changed a lot since then, really. And we do see DK go for this Dragon Knight, so they're going to want to be taking down towers early. And Dragon Knight just overall is just such a solid hero. And we do see Fnatic go for this Undying.
Well, I guess the Gyro ban makes sense then.
It's a little bit weird picking Undying, though. I mean, the Gyro ban makes sense, but you just picked an Undying into a Rubik and into a DK. I mean, sure, he's amazing versus DK and Wisp. We just drop the Tombstone and you start decaying them, and both those heroes just get crippled entirely by that.
But can you imagine if Mouse steals the Tombstone and they have Ravage now on top of it?
They can steal the Tombstone. They can steal all the spells from Undying are actually amazing if Rubik gets any of them. And then on top of that, I mean, the reason that nobody really likes Undying so much is because of how immobile he is. You can just run around the map. If that hero is just running around, he has to chase everybody in order to be, you know, useful. And if he's just running around doing that, he gets no farm, and he just ends up starting to become really, really weak.
And once he starts falling off, he falls off so hard.
Absolutely. I mean, once mid-game hits, if he did not have a good start, the hero just is actually worthless. You really just don't do anything at that point. So it'll be interesting how they do this. And yeah, Mousesports picks a very good hero versus Undying, which is Tidehunter. Although you don't get the money from the zombies anymore, which is a really nice change for that hero. Tidehunter is one of the best. You know, of course, you just Anchor Smash, all those zombies are dead.
Yeah, so, and they needed an offlaner anyway. So.
Exactly. So it was a little bit weird, actually, Fnatic rushing that Undying pick there, I feel like. But they do ban out the Sven. They don't want to deal with that again, because I heard some beastly crits happen, so...
Yes, there was a Troll Warlord, a Wisp, I believe they had a Dazzle to Shallow Grave him as well. Like, the entire team was built to make Pycat Sven, like, 2.5 Svens.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, Sven is...
A Dota sitcom coming to a TV near you.
2.5 Svens. Sven's pretty damn scary with all that, too. I mean, what the hell do you do? He's overcharged, he probably was super farmed at that point, and then with a Dazzle, like, oh, we're getting him low! Oh, God. Oh God!
Yeah,
we just got cleaved.
Grave on that hero is really a problem. You give him an extra few seconds, he gets 3, 4, 5 auto techs off. That's at least a crit or two, and he got 2 or 3, and then the fight was just over at that point.
Absolutely devastating. So now looking at the and they do decide, you know, Mouse decides they don't want to play against a Viper either. They do ban that because they want Dragon Knight to have a good lane. I mean, Undying, surprisingly, a lot of people don't really do this, and I really don't think Fnatic will. But Undying versus DK mid is a disaster for Dragon Knight.
Really?
You just take all his strength. What does he do? Okay, he still does the same thing that usually does. He bottle crows and just Dragon Breath, but yeah, it doesn't. You can just really pressure him out of the lane with Undying. And we do see Fnatic go for a Venomancer, so they have. I guess that's that's gonna be a Trixie Venom. It's gonna be a core Venomancer because they already do have the Shadow Demon and the Undying supports.
Yeah, this used to be even if you go back to Heroes of Nowhere, they would run like farming. I forget what the hero was. Slither, I think it was.
Slither, yeah, that hero was broken. So.
Yeah, and Vanguard was really strong in that game. You would always rush in and just would never leave the lane, basically. Also, Soul Rain was better in that game, but
yeah, it was.
They pick up the Venomancer here, and Fnatic just going for lane domination and just this really strong mid game team fight.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic's lineup overall, though, is pretty damn scary, but at the same time, they don't have very solid late game. They have a Mirana, which is, of course, that hero, we've seen it. He does very, very well in the late game if he has an amazing early mid game. But that's, you really need to have that amazing early mid game in order to have that presence late game. And then other than that, they only really have, like, Venomancer, and, I guess, Puck does okay if he goes for this Dagon and stuff like that, but... They don't really have too much into that late game.
My biggest concern for Fnatic is how do they break the base? If the game's close, it's very hard to walk uphill into Ravage, into all the instant lockdown that Mouse have. Also, they can just pick you off before you get there with relocate. And who's the siege engine for this team? It's like you said, it has to be a farm Mirana, but that feels a little underwhelming. So I see Fnatic, if they play this right, getting an early lead. But Mouse,
Just like you said.
even from a disadvantage, still having a chance.
Yeah, and just like you said, they go for Piket's Weaver, which is extremely strong hero. And now Mousesports has an amazing mid-game lineup and an amazing late-game lineup because DK all throughout the game is just so obnoxious. That if you leave his lane, he's like, oh, you just lost your tower out of nowhere. You just can't do anything about it. And,
and that's a honeypuck.
Yeah, it is a honeypuck.
Quite a nice matchup for Dragonite, to be honest.
It is. It kind of goes both ways. I mean, Puck can have a really good early. Of course, he can have a really good start. But at the same time, once Dragonite hits 6, if there's a rotation, they have massive kill potential on the Puck. So he has to play really, really careful.
And that like if you get to level 6, basically, Puck's just not going to win the lane anymore, because even if there's not a rotation, Dragonite can still just start sieging the tower.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. He's just going to be bottle crowing. He's going to be at full health, and Puck can't pressure a Dragonite out of that lane once he's bottle crowing. Do you think he just hit your tower?
Do you think there's any chance we see Fnatic try and go for an early level 1 gank here? They have some pretty aggressive supports. An Era on the Mirana, likely to just be taking a farming role in the side lane, but maybe a quad lane mid strat.
Quad lane mid. We've seen it
we saw it so many times in the Southeast Asia qualifiers.
I've seen it so many times out of Fnatic too, honestly. Yeah. So it's I wouldn't be too shocked. But jumping into the game, we do see Fnatic. They run out of their base instantly. They want to secure their jungle. They don't want anything to happen. We see No Tail just ends up just buying. He doesn't buy anything but wards. So he just wants to get out there as quick as possible. No hesitation at all. So they really just want to secure their jungle. They don't want Mouse running in there. And we do see them going for the same exact thing. Mao's going for the same thing. They want to secure their own jungle. Same purchases basically from Misery. He just bought wards and courier, and he saved the rest of his money. He's going to go for that bottle rush.
So, Fog, before the game gets underway, whose draft do you like better overall? Do you think they're pretty even? Do you give either team an edge? I'm personally preferring Mouse's because I feel like there's more ways for them to win, and generally I've been a fan of versatile drafts lately.
I mean, just looking at Mouse's lineup, they can make mistakes. They really can just make almost as many mistakes as they want in this, and because their lineup is just so solid overall. They have the late game. Weaver's going to be extremely hard to kill for Fnatic unless they get beautiful jumps from the Puck. The Puck really is going to have to make so much room on this map. He has to get his Blink Dagger early, and he has to make so much happen on the map after that. So it's really under, Fnatic really is on just pressured completely. They're going to have to make a lot happen this game.
The good news is they do have a lot of just potent laning heroes that could take over the game. And on that note, guys, game 1 is underway. The horn sounds. Let's introduce our teams. On the Dire side, we have Team Fnatic. We begin with Fly. He's the drafter, the captain, the mastermind, if you will, playing the Undying. No Tail, handling that support Shadow Demon. Currently naked. Not sure if there's items coming on the courier or if he's just completely pulled his team. Era, playing the off-lane Mirana. In the mid-roll goes Hani. But let's get the melee creep there first and then blocks the rest of the wave. It looks like he'll be handling the Puck. Been pulled a few tangos, but Fado is a fantastic block at level 1. And then in the safe lane, Trixie will be playing the Venomancer left on an island. And then on the Radiant side, we have Team Mousesports. Looks like they might make it go bottom, but not just yet. Pos playing the Rubik, Misery handling that support Io, and that will put Pycat onto, I think, one of his 2 signature heroes along with Mirana lately. He's playing the Weaver. In the mid lane goes the Dragonite for Fada, and then bottom lane, last but not least, is your Tidehunter for MSS. MSS, to me, has been the most improved player by far on this team, and in fact, in the scene in general.
Honestly, what a player. Even when we were playing on with him EG, we were doing horrible, but I'm watching the guy play from right next to him. I'm like, this guy's a beast. Like, you can just see the way he moves, the way overall he plays, his fingers, everything. He's really fast on top of everything. We do see Fnatic starting to make some quick action.
Looks like top lane, they might have a bit of a dive here. The Venomancer's under trouble. Trixie taking a lot of right-click damage. Pycat looking for the kill here, and I don't see any TPs yet. They could be in trouble. Meanwhile, they are trying to go in mid as well, but looks like First Blood will go against Trixie as that safe lane Venomancer. One more right click would do him in. He's already used the Salve. Pycat barely gets off the auto attack. He will go down in the process, but kill secured in the end.
Definitely worth it for Pycat there. Yeah, you die, but you got the First Blood.
Get First Blood. He doesn't get any experience, and you come right back.
Yeah, and looking at the mid lane right now, it's very even. Expected. If the Puck has a really good start, it's going to be a little bit tough for the Dragonite to get kills on him, but that hero is just the same thing. It's you hit 6, you push that tower. It doesn't really matter what happens. You don't need the most CS either, but he's going to be doing phenomenal anyway because Fada, this is one of his signature heroes too. He loves playing this Dragonite middle.
And he also got the better block, and Hani went Null Talisman, so it mitigates a lot of the harassment and can still get his farm on.
Yeah, for sure. I personally feel like Radiant's a lot easier to block, so we do see the rotation coming out already from Fnatic, and No Tail buys a bottle right away off the bat on the Shadow Demon.
Wow.
I haven't. Really
I saw he didn't have anything on his hero.
He thinks he's Wisp, I guess. He's just like, you know what? I'm getting that bottle right away.
I might not get to play EO, but I'll still just get a bottle anyway.
Damn right,
so
I'll get the same items. And I think this is the right choice by Fnatic here. Like, they right away rotate that Shadow Demon top because they saw what ended up happening there. The poor Trixie just got dove. And MSS is going to start getting zoned because they're just going to put down this dual lane down here. And yeah, we do see MSS. He goes for 2 levels in that Anchor Smash, but he's saving his point now, which is really smart. Because he doesn't really need the Kraken Shell because he did end up buying a Stout Shield early. So he can go for the greedy Gush build. Just be, you know, he's still tanky.
Yeah, and if he ever needs the Kraken Shell, he can just level it up here.
Exactly.
So if there's kill potential, we'll see him adjust things. But otherwise, yeah, top lane, Venomancer and Shadow Demon versus Weaver. Well, yeah, the Venom's not going to die, but this is an easy lane for Weaver at this point. And really no kill potential. And I go back to what you said about the laning stage and the draft. Puck has to have a good game. If Puck has a bad game, they have nothing on Weaver. They have very little on the supports even as well. Looks like top lane, the siege will continue, and orbs come splashing through. Just a simple harassment onto the Fnatic supports. But yeah, this is, so far, creep scores fairly even. Well, we have the haves and the have-nots. 4 heroes farming, and then 6 that are very sad.
Yeah, and yeah, this was definitely the right move by Fnatic, because there's not really a point to keeping an aggressive Trillian versus a Tide Hunter. You're not going to kill that guy. Unless you get the perfect, you know, situations for it. He's not going to play stupid versus a Shadow Demon pot him. He's not going to step up too far and get, you know, arrowed and everything. So, definitely a good rotation, and now he's able to pull, and he's able to just get a lot of, he's able to just pull and get his levels there. And but yeah, that bottle on Shadow Demon, very interesting there.
Yeah, it's we haven't really seen it do too much yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, Shadow Demon's a strong roaming support. That is where you kind of wish you had something besides Undying, though, because if you want to be roaming with a bottle early, like imagine if you had a jungler, a Lina, a Leshrac, someone who can combo well with Disruption, or if Mirana was a support who could roam, but instead it's a Shadow Demon who is kind of just stuck top with the bottle. I mean, which doesn't really do much.
It's not the worst because, you know, they're getting, I guess they're getting Trixie some farm, but he only has 6 CS, so Trixie's not having a good time up there. He's really not able to solidify too much CS. But now, I mean, Mouse did something as well. They saw the rotation coming out of Fnatic, and they're like, oh, Paz is going to rotate right away bottom because there's a pull open. You're just going to go find your levels, and that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, this is where Fly could possibly bully him if he gets boots up before the Rubik, but looks like they're going to have them at the same time. And, well, should be able to just lift him, toss him back if the Undying goes on him, and retreat to the tower. Yeah,
now Fada is about to be level 6 here, so he's going to push this lane in as hard as hard as possible. He's going to pop his ulti and just start pressuring that mid tower. So I feel like Fnatic really should start rotating. It's early as hell in the game, but once you see a Dragon Knight get his level 6, either they're going to rotate for the Dragon Knight, or you need to, because you just don't want to have your tower get so pressured, and that's what's going to happen. He even used a regen and just spams the Flame Breath right away and gets the mana back. So Honey's going to be really pressured here, and there's no way he's going to be able to defend this tower.
I guess the issue is who's going to rotate. Shadow Demon, if he leaves top, Veno's probably dying again to this dual lane, as we saw before, and we were up to 33 CS. The Veno's not getting anything, so is it Undying who rotates? I guess he can help hold the tower, but he can't really do much to a Dragon Knight ult for him. He just right-clicks.
It looks like No-Tail's actually starting to rotate, but you know what? Paz just spotted him up on the hill, so they know he's there.
Oh, this is also risky, and they're going in.
Hani.
Looks like they want to go in on Hani right now. The Dragon Tail to start things off. He drops low. Does manage to pop his bottle charges. Then the turnaround from Fly. He gets disrupted. There's a single zombie here, and Fada actually trapped by the disruption. The orb comes splashing through. It will connect. He's still alive, though. Tanks up. Turns on No-Tail. That stun. The right clicks as well. They get the kill. They're looking for more. It's 2.
Hani's going to go down as well to Pycat.
Yeah, Hani. No, orb available. But he gets run down by Sakuchi.
Oh,
really early rotation for Pycat, all the way from the top lane down there. And now they might not take the tower, but they've brought the tower down already below half.
And they got 3 kills right there. That's
a disaster for.
I think Fnatic just needed to decide. You know, are we gonna defend this tower? Or are we just gonna ditch it? And I think the proper decision there would have probably just been like, you know, we gotta ditch this. Our heroes are not good at this. Because of the start we had, like Undying's level 3, Shadow Demon's only level 3, and it's already starting to look really in favor of the Mousesports. It's 2,000 gold leader, you know, it's very early, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. But they do have a really good early game and mid game, and
looks like top lane. They're gonna make a go right now. They find Trixie with the tether in. The Dragon Tail follow up is there, and a casual drive-by from Fada nets him yet another kill. You know, Thug, I was talking about Misery's rotations, but I actually have to say, it feels like Mouse in general have some of the best movement out of any Western team right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's also the luck of what runes you get. You know, if you get a haste rune, you're gonna go run around crazy.
And aside from the runes, like Pycat TPing mid early, a lot of players would not make that play. It's like, I'm dominating top, let me stay here, I can kill the Veno again. He saw an opportunity, goes in mid, they kill the Puck, the key hero for Fnatic, and they damage the tower a lot.
Yeah, that's a really good point, honestly. Like, you don't see many of these carries teleport to these lanes and just they save their teammates and just net kills out of it. And you just see a lot of people just be like, oh, you know what, I'm free farming my lane. Why the hell should I port? That's not the right mentality. If you see a kill, if you see an opportunity to save your teammate and make a lot of plays happen, it's the right thing to do. And Pycat just did it beautifully there. And now, you know, I mean, Fnatic's a little bit under pressure. They did force the Dragon Knight did decide to ulti and go for top, but now they run mid. Yeah, quad lane mid right now, and they smoked up, so they're going to be going for a kill on Hani here, and he has to be very careful.
Oh, single Dragon Tail, he's toast. It's not the easiest kill, though, unless he walks to that point where you can just get in range for the stun from the high ground, but...
They're ready for it. And
Hani is playing this one very safe.
Oh, he was about to walk up there, too. Man, that was scary. But, you know, they nuke down the wave. Fada has incredible farm. He has 50 creep score, which is just beautiful. Now they're going to get a free tower here because Glyph's down, and the Fnatic heroes just really can't defend. And uh-oh, they're actually trying to port in on this. This is crazy, I feel like.
Diving the puck. The tower's in deny range. Meanwhile, he actually just stuns Hani. Will retreat out. One more right click. The last hit goes the way of Toss on the Rubik. And now Fada coiled, but where's the follow-up for this? Era hasn't thrown out an arrow yet, I believe. Now he does, but it won't connect. They do find the Wiz, isolate it in the pit. They get a kill. Fnatic get their second kill of the game and get back on the board, but... Well, the tier 1 going down. Still a win there for Mouse, and now looking for more. They're fighting uphill into a tombstone, but seem to be doing okay, mainly because this Weaver just isn't being stunned. Pass. Uh-oh. I think he's underestimated the tombstone. And MSS now forced to retreat. Doesn't have Ravage yet. He does have a double damage rune here. Another anchor smash. That's going to connect on 2, 3 heroes. Now Pycat marching forward. He still has Sakuchi. He's got the time lapse, but he gets silenced. Nice silence by Hani. That turns the fight. But MSS hits level 6, drops the hammer, drops the Ravage, and cleans everyone up. It's 5 heroes dead. And Fnatic already in a total disaster of a game, number 1.
Absolutely, and that was a great relocate there by Misery. I mean, he just brought his teammate in there, and just, you know, that's what ended up happening in that team fight. Misery, or MSS was, I think, 10 experience from level 6 in that team. They got a kill. He hit 6. He instantly popped that Ravage, and now he's level 8. So that, I mean, that went big in favor of Mouse, but Fnatic did get a couple kills there. They were fighting with the Tombstone, and that was a really weird place for Mouse to fight, but it ended up being okay because they just waited long enough, and they just played this, you know.
If Tide was not that close to level 6, it would just have been a bad fight.
Absolutely.
But probably MSS was calling out to his team, like, guys, just get me a kill.
Kill someone.
We win the entire fight, and they got a kill.
Get in there.
Fight was good.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Pycat actually could have lived there. He had like a window to either Sakuchi or time lapse, and he ended up getting hit by the silence because he held it a little bit too longer. So a little bit of a cocky play by Pycat there. He felt like he could get a couple more right clicks.
Yeah, I think that was the second silence of the fight, so maybe he just lost track of it. He's like, oh, Puck's used it, but had already cooled down.
Yeah, now Era is getting gone on bottom, and he needs to be careful here already.
There's an Undying here, but worst case scenario, they can at least retreat out this Weaver, and, well, forget about retreating. Pycat's diving for kills. He's looking for Era right now, tries to retreat to the tower, sticks up, doing okay for the time being. The Courier will cover the path of his retreat, but meanwhile, Tidehunter finds no tail. It will be a 1-for-1 trade, 2 supports falling. And, well, meanwhile, Dragon Knight just doing what he does best. Right-clicking creeps, pressuring towers.
And he's doing something that we've only seen Fodder really do.
He's the only player that does this.
On Dragon Knight.
How do you feel about this build? I actually think every time I've seen it, it's worked.
I agree with you. I mean, I don't like it personally, but he's getting it so early. It's a 10-minute mech on a Dragon Knight. He doesn't really have the mana for it, but how the hell are they going to kill that guy?
He gets mech, and then MSS gets blink, which he has 950 gold. They take 2-3 towers. He's going to have it.
Yeah.
How, at that point, do you fight as Fnatic? You're supposed to do well in the early to mid game, and you can't take team fights anymore. Like, Weaver can just farm at that point, take it late. I don't know what Fnatic does. To me, this is a draft that just had to win the laning stage, and now Fnatic are... They're reliant on Mouse making mistakes to turn this game around.
Yeah, and they just used their Mirana ulti, and it looks like Mouse completely knew that. They were like, oh, they bottom ulti back up. You know, we don't need to force the issue. They're not really under pressure, but they want to go for that tower anyway. They want to secure a lot of early game towers. They want to get early farm. They want to get early levels and control the map more, because they did get this early mid tower, which is huge, because it just takes away so much map control from Fnatic. And now look, they just forced all 5 of Fnatic's heroes bottom, and they're like, you know what? We know they're there. Let's get the hell out of there.
And Moonlight Shadow's on cooldown, so Fnatic can't easily punish this. Like,
exactly.
Otherwise, maybe they Moonlight Shadow and just start diving the tier 1 bottom, knowing there's no Weaver there, but not really a possibility.
And we do see Mouse actually, they smoke on their own into their jungle, and they're going to be running toward either... I'm pretty sure they're going to run toward top, but they're going to run through Fnatic's jungle, through the mid lane, to get to Pyke, and they're going to go for that top tower very soon.
Yeah, in the meantime, the Weaver free farms. Until Puck gets a blink, they are not killing him. And Hani is not close to a blink, unfortunately.
He's getting flanked in mid right now, too.
Oh, now the dive comes in. The Whisk comes zipping forward. The backstep from Paz secures a very simple kill. Now they've got level 8, and they can relocate bottom lane, potentially. They do have a Ravage online as well. Are they coming for this? No, they're just going to leave Fada to die, it looks like. It's like, team?
Yeah. Actually,
no team.
A bit weird there from him. He could have TP'd that entire time. They used their arrow, they used the Shadow Demon Disruption, and that's the beauty. I mean, that's the beauty of playing versus a lineup like the way Fnatic has. If they use that disruption and they use that arrow right away, if you survive that combo right in the beginning of that, right when they initiate on you, you can just TP out.
And yeah, their only other stun, actually, now that you mention it, is the coil, and Puck was dead, and also not there.
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit of a misplay there by Fada. I mean, his team was all running top, they smoked up, they really wanted to just, you know, put pressure on that short lane, and he got caught out bottom.
I wonder if he was expecting to relocate Ravage, because Tide and Wisp were next to each other, Ravage was online, but I guess they didn't want to fight into Tombstone. Now they're going to come bottom lane, and the Ravage from MSS flies. I thought I saw the Puck coming in. The relocate may have gotten canceled here top lane by the Puck. Looks like the coil was used, but yeah, Pas now gets knocked down. Fada joining the fight as well. He'll deploy it. Dragon Tail gets one stun off, and now the chase is on Trixie, trapping himself in the trees, trying to make the great retreat.
Ooh.
No tail. Wow,
They're all getting out too. Wow.
So I'm pretty sure Puck coil top canceled the Puck relocate.
It looks, yeah, it looks like he canceled the
relocate. Or the Puck relocate.
The Puck relocate.
Because if Wisp shows up there, I think that fight goes way smoother for Mouse. So
yeah,
nice play by him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we do see the relocate on cooldown, so yeah, that's exactly what happened. And well played there by Honey to be able to spot that out. And we do see Honey buying his own dust and everything too in this game, so he's not gonna get that blink tag early, and he really needs it versus their lineup. And
that is
Mouse is doing what they're doing.
It's like always blink is important for Puck, but this game it's the most important item by far for their team.
And looks like Fada might actually go down bottom again. He's very far up, and yeah, he's definitely gonna take a fall right here.
Try to take someone with him, but Fly should be absolutely fine. MSS waddles in. They have managed to hit quite a few heroes with the swarm, and it'll be dealt with. Now the Tide. He's just overextended. MSS struts up, but that's a tie with no Ravage.
That's a buyback from the DK too.
What? Well.
Was that a misclick?
I don't. They have no Ravage. Tide's dead. Seems like a very, and they have no Dragon Ult. It seems like a very awkward time.
Rage buyback? I mean, it's possible, but that was really well played there by Fnatic, and Mouse just really overextended. They walked into Tombstone. You never want to walk into Tombstone. It's disastrous, and it's maxed up already. Fly just decided to just max it first. He's really underfarmed though on the support.
The other thing that helped Fnatic there was finally getting the Venomancer ult involved in a fight as well, which that combined with the synergy between that and the Tombstone is huge. Like you get everybody low. All the zombies are bloodlusted, and then you're very sad if you're Mouse.
And Undying just recently got buffed because the threshold's a bit higher now, so the Tombstone actually starts going crazy as soon as people hit 400 health. So
okay, it's just
very well done.
It's a flat 400.
I'm pretty sure actually. Okay. I think maybe we'll be able to look at it, and I think it is.
Yeah, Death Lost health threshold.
It says it's 100, 200, 300, 400, but I'm pretty sure they just made it straight up 400 across the board. Maybe the tooltip's not correctly done, but
okay. Yeah, sometimes when they make those patch changes, they don't.
Yeah, it doesn't really just update the icon, but I'm quite sure that it's 400 apiece. And yeah, it's just really well done, really nice Venomancer ulti, really good Tombstone placement. And Trixie's just going for that rushing mech. He needs to find something for his team just to set it up. And I think he's gonna stay down bottom for a bit and just spam Venom Ward and just keep that lane at bay.
Yeah, and if you're Mouse right now, I think you just need to buckle down. Like, just relax, farm your Weaver, take smart fights when Ravage is up. And now they have the
got his Blink Dagger too.
Now they have Blink and they have Mech. So if Dragon Knight ults up, they want to take those fights.
Yeah, but
along with the Ravage. And
this is one of the reasons I don't really. I mean, sure, Mech is a great item if you get it early, but I just don't get the point of getting it on a Dragon Knight because he could have a Lothars up right now and he could be running around looking for picks on his own. And
actually with some drafts that's not that good, but this game when Fnatic supports are quite poor and when there's a Wisp, it would be very strong.
Yeah, now we do see another smoke coming out of Mouse, and it's smart movement because you know what, Dragon Knight's ult's up, he's sitting up there doing nothing, so they need to make some space for him, get him a little bit more farm, try to take that last tier 1 down and get into the enemy jungle and just secure the game for themselves. So great smoke gang for them, and I wouldn't be surprised if Misery's set up bottom, getting ready for the recoil located in case they see anything top. And yeah, Fada is walking in, so he gets gone on with it.
He does get purged, but the backup's going to come in now. MSS unwinds the Blink Dagger, connects on everyone, but they are fighting in the Tombstone for this one. The Venom ult gets deployed, No Tail dropping pretty low and still fighting his way through this one. Flies the first man down, but the Tombstone hasn't been dealt with. Nobody's right-clicking it, and everybody's running. Zombie apocalypse, ladies and gentlemen. The pain is real. Arrow on the retreat out, the Puck on the chase. Hani, he's looking for the 4th kill. Looks like Pos will go down. Where'd that Puck go? No, he's gone into the trees here. He's gotten slightly juked now. Pos will Fate Bolt him. Still the Weaver trying to find kills on the backside of the fight. Diving for Trixie. The Tombstone's gone. This is his chance. No, he's retreating. He wants to kill off the Puck. He's going to cut off the path of retreat now. No, just kidding. Hani's cut off his path of retreat. He manages to get off the Sakuchi. Barely living. Hani also barely living. That Weaver literally has no health bar. And finally he takes down to the Venomancer damage over time. And, well, there's your Puck Blink Dagger, Fog.
There you go, man. He didn't even have it for that fight, but it's even though MSS landed a beautiful, I think he hit all 5 there with that Ravage, fighting into Tombstone is so horrible. And we just saw the power of it. They had the Venomancer ulti up, they had all that, and they had a ton of Veno wards all over the place. So if you're getting hit by Veno wards in Tombstone, you're just crawling. And that's what we saw end up happening.
The thing is, Mouse don't have to be 5-man. They can just
really
split push. And Fnatic doesn't push that fast. Like, it just... I don't know how much they've played against the new Undying, honestly.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Who's played against Undying, period, lately? There's been a few teams running it, but it's more of like a niche experimental pick, and yeah. I imagine Mouse is gonna say, okay guys, maybe we don't take those fights now.
Let's take it a little bit easy. Tombstone's pretty imbalanced, so. But no, Arrow there he did such a big play. Instead of just running away and just dying, because he would have died to the Weaver if he didn't man up, he just turned and fought him, and he got a double starfall on him. He arrowed him, and Pycat got like the luckiest time lapse of his life there. Ended up healing up, but he ended up dropping anyway because Hani was in the woods over here, and I don't think Pycat knew that, and he just caught him off guard there. So it was really well played by Fnatic there, and they pulled off so much there without the puck blink dagger. Now he does have it, so they can. I don't think Mouse is gonna be able to defend this top tower. The Tombstone's deployed, and
what have they stolen here? Well, whatever they've stolen, it's not good enough if Pos goes down. And with the coil being dropped, he will fall. He actually got the Tombstone. Didn't get to use it, though. Now on the retreat out. MSS. Misery getting run over. The zombies are moving forward, and MSS, no Ravage for 10 seconds here, so gets caught up by the Blink Silence. Suddenly, Hani's snowballing, and Fnatic are making a fantastic comeback after a disastrous laning stage.
Ownage.
Jeez.
Oh, man. Fnatic is playing really... I mean... They know where the action's going to happen, and they're just doing what they should be doing. Stick together with their lineup, because of course, you know, they're playing versus Wisp, but on top of that, they're playing with an Undying. All they really have to do is just stick together. Oh,
Funny. Never mind.
Oh. Boo. I thought they might actually go for a kill there, but now look,
Fada
has nothing.
They actually could go for a Dragon Tail here. They'll get one off on Hani to start the fight. Then they Breathe Fire him. They can lift him up, toss him down. They've also stolen the orb, but Hani tries to phase shift. It can't do it. It's a nice kill, but the puck already has his blink, so not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, just going back to this mech on the Dragon Knight still, I mean, he's just, that's all he has still. So it's really weak for your mid-solo just to have that at this point, especially if it's a Dragon Knight, because you want him to be able to run around the map. He needs his BKB very early, but on top of that, you really want to have an item with that. You don't want to just have a naked BKB, and he's not even close at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a bit stronger when your other cores have more teamfight presence in terms of damage.
MSS just, failed to deny.
Yeah.
Catapult too much damage. A little bit imbalanced. Womp womp. But now he's got his level 11 up on the Tide Hunter, so he's got this level 2 Ravage, which is pretty nice. It's not the biggest difference between the level 6 and level 11 ulti, but it's more damage, more stun duration. So, yeah, I mean, the team fight for Mouse is really strong, but you don't want a team fight Fnatic. They can just split them up farm, and that's the game that they need to play. It really is, and we do see Weaver about to finish up his Lincoln. So once he gets that, it's going to be pretty damn hard to kill him.
The thing is, because they took those fights, now the Weaver's slightly at risk here of just getting ganked by the puck.
Yeah.
Blink Silence with some follow-up from Murano. That's an easy kill. He's going Lincoln Sphere, and they are... I like what they're doing, though. They park Misery behind him in the trees. They're ready for the relocate out to keep him alive, and...
Smart of them to back up, though. I mean, Fnatic... Mouse obviously doesn't know, but Fnatic was actually pinging Misery non-stop there. They're like, he's in the woods there. Like, if they keep going, we're going to step up on him. And they were setting up. They do have 4 up there. They already dedicated a lot of heroes there. And now it looks like Mouse might actually walk back up there, which is a little bit crazy if they do. And yeah, Fnatic is just, they're 5-manning, which is what they should be doing. We do see Murano ulti coming out.
They also have Medallion. So if Fnatic starts winning fights, not this one because it's top lane, but oh, looks like they'll find the opening now. Pycat gets caught out. There's a silence to start things off. The relocate out is attempted and is going to be canceled by the disruption. Now they're going to lose 2. Misery just destroyed by that Medallion.
Really well played there by Notail. He just was patient on it. And I don't really know if we've been seeing a Medallion on Shadow Demons up too much. I mean, of course they're on Dire, so they can do for the Roshan and everything like that, but usually we see like a Venomancer picking that up, not the Shadow Demon. Bit of a strange item on him, but it's probably going to end up working for him. Yeah,
he went bottle first and then ended up having to just support the safe lane, but Big Daddy's doing work.
Yeah, Big Daddy's going ham. But no, yeah, he's doing great. He decides to go for the max Soul Catcher and Poison build instead of leveling up the Disruption, which, I mean, I personally, I love maxing Disruption over the Soul Catcher. The Disruption, or Soul Catcher just doesn't gain too much damage, and no.
That courier almost died as well.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like, what's going on? I don't see anything. There's no one near anybody. What are you talking about?
Actually, I had the Weaver's Lincoln recipe as well, and
okay,
we'll get it now. So that would have been quite important had they lost it.
For sure, I agree with it.
Thank you. I'm glad you agree with me.
You're welcome, man.
That's why I brought you here, so you can agree with me and make me look good.
No. Yeah, no, I mean, Mao's just, I think they took a little bit of unnecessary team fights, and they really just, they let Fnatic catch back up in this game, so now it's anybody's game at this point, because even though they did get these 2 early game towers with the Dragon Knight, that's all they've got with it. They still have not gotten that top tier 1, which is a really important tier 1, and they haven't been able to go into the enemy jungle at all, which is a big thing about having Wisp. You want to know where they are at all times. You want to have wards up in their jungle, or you want to be running through there just to put the pressure on.
Yeah, we have actually not seen a relocate since that very early engagement bottom lane that's done anything. They tried to relocate out to keep the Weaver alive top lane, but haven't been successful. Now they will go through the mid lane. They're smoked up. They jump in with the Ravage. It barely clips Fly. They also assassinate Arrow. Now starting to chase Fly out, pursuing him towards his own tower, but with the Tombstone drop, I imagine we will see them back off. And yeah, this time around, they're not diving the Tombstone.
And I mean, you know what? It's okay to blow a Ravage there for one hero, because they need to just start making things happen. They start feeling the pressure on them. They're like, uh-oh. We've not had too good of a time the past couple team fights, so let's just blow the Ravage. They got the kill on it, and it was worth it at that point. Because now they're just going to back up, they're going to farm. And Fnatic can't really press the issue, because like you were saying, they don't have the best pushing heroes at all. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty damn even game. We saw a big curve going up toward Mouse, but then after they decided to team fight 2 or 3 times, it decided to go into Fnatic favors, and now it's about even at this point.
It almost looks like a summit.
It does almost look like a summit. Oh my god.
Oh! Everybody in the room is cringing and face-palming furiously. Including what is hit our faithful observer. Keep your hands on the cameraman. Top lane, they will push down the tier 1. So they're going to give up a Roche, it looks like. But with no Ravage now, they're not really able to fight into the pit. Even if they had it, as we've seen, they can't. So
yeah, you don't want to
I think this is okay for Mouse. No one on Fnatic is that scary of an Aegis carrier.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, they're probably just going to give it to Era, I think.
Yeah,
yeah. They just
actually, he's gone me on there. Already has it complete, so
they smoke instantly out of the pit too. So maybe they'll be able to get a pick off here out of this if they do the rotation properly.
Let me just say, if Trixie has a Meowner buff on him, do not focus that Veno.
Yeah,
he gets off, or you better kill him if you do, because if he gets off his ult and you're just right-clicking him.
He's pretty damn farmed, honestly. Yeah. He got his mech at decent timing, and then with all these team fights that just went in their favor, he's gonna be having that Ag soon. And look, we haven't even talked about Fly either. He bought one of the best items in the game just now. He's got his Atos.
Oh, completed. I thought you meant the Vit booster.
Oh, no. He's got the Atos online now.
That Lincoln's no good anymore.
Is worthless. And Atos is the best item versus Lincoln's. It's at 1500 range. Like, what just popped my Lincoln? What the hell's going on here?
Oh, disruption as well as an arrow come through on Fada mid lane. Now he tanks a demonic perch, instantly dead.
Blown up.
They were split pushing top, then they decided to back and defend the mid tower. I'm honestly a little surprised. It seemed like they knew Fnatic were coming mid. And then
looks like Mouse is playing. They're playing pretty sloppy, honestly. I feel like they should know. They know what they're playing against. There's a Venomancer and an Undying and a Puck. You don't want to be team fighting versus that too much. You just want to be able to split up the map as much as possible. And look, even Misery, I think Misery knows that. He's pinging top, and he's like, I'm a Wisp. I'm pushing this lane.
That's what they were doing. They hit the Dragonite here, and then Fada went mid, and well, Fada
he
died.
gets picked off. And yeah, like I said, I mean, I feel like Fada's been playing strange, and we might see an engagement coming out of mid. MSS is set up, but I don't think they should defend that.
But it's such a risky go.
It's a tier 1. You don't want to defend those tier 1s once you've lost so many team fights back to back to back.
The main issue now is with the Dragonite dead and the Wisp team back, there's no pressure on the other lane, so Fnatic just slowly will siege this one.
Yeah, for sure.
And it will be very slow, though.
Yeah.
Their ability to take tier 2s, or any tower, is very questionable. Actually, the Rubik tosses one in. Meanwhile, the Ravage comes through. They're working on Hani here. They'll almost lose the puck immediately. He does manage to escape. Lives for the time being. They pop the Aegis, but that's cost them a Ravage, and now they've been caught in an awkward situation. Misery isolated on the backside, sure to fall. They'll retreat out the rest of the heroes, and it looks like Pycat should make it out, but now, no Ravage. Fnatic lost an Aegis, and will be threatening the tier 2, and probably taking it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're not just split pushing. They need to split the map up. They can't fight these heroes. I mean, I feel for Misery right now. It's awful. It's absolutely awful playing this Wisp versus these heroes. You don't even need to get hit by Gale or anything. It's like the Tombstone's down and one Veno ward hits you and you're like, I'm not moving. They're going to focus me. I'm absolutely dead.
And then No-Tell medallions you. And
yeah, you're just like, oh god.
And then Big Daddy has his way with you.
Yeah. And that's not what you wanted. Yeah, Big Daddy's got his Blink Dagger now up next, too.
What are they going to do? They don't have Ravage. Sure, Fnatic push slowly, but there's no pressure on the other lanes at all. They'll try to blink in now. Started off on No-Tail. Then comes your Coil. You're silenced by Hani, isolating 2 heroes, but not catching up Pycat, who continues to pursue. Will bring down 1. Looking for more. The Tombstone's been dropped now, though, and the fun times may be ending soon. Actually, they're fighting through it. They're doing okay so far. Looking for Trixie, trying to find a few more kills. Era retreating out with the Moonlight Shadow. Looks like he'll be okay. Weaver will continue the chase, and it looks like in the end a 2-for-1 exchange. Will they find Trixie? They can Sakuchi and go forward, but that is a very, very tanky farming Veno, so probably not the best idea.
Yeah, now after that team fight, he's got his Ags, and he's about to be 16 on that Veno, so people really overlook how much damage Poison Nova does. With Ags, insane. I mean, everybody on
Is
the
there
side
any
is gonna
support
die.
that does more? I guess Lich, if he actually gets off a Chain Frost,
That's no support.
Yeah.
That's a Trixie Venom, man. Come on.
That's true.
Give the guy some credit. No, he loves playing. They love doing the core Venomancer for Trixie. He plays it amazing. And yeah, he's got this. He's got his Ags mech and his Arcane Boot. So he's got every item he needs at this point. Everything else is just luxury.
The one thing that I think Mouse have going their way, though, is if the Weaver continues to farm. Tombstone's been a real problem for them up to this point, but you give it another 5 minutes, he gets a Desolator. Tombstone's not that scary anymore. He can single-handedly burst it down. The only way he dies is if he gets caught by the puck and there's a Mirana follow-up. So beyond that, well, he can somewhat mitigate that damage. And Ags on Veno is nice, but again, Fnatic aren't exactly beating down the front door right now, and their lineup doesn't really go that late. They need so many items to take this late.
Somehow, though, they're ahead in towers. They are ahead in towers, and overall, they're ahead in this game now again. This gold grab.
I think they need to be ahead, though. Like, if they were behind at this point, that's way worse than if Mouse are behind at this point.
And I think they... I honestly feel like Fnatic should not be doing this well. I think if Mouse were just chilling out, instead of just being like, oh my god, there's a kill opportunity, let's relocate. Oh my god, let's go for this kill. Oh my god, let's do this. And they just split up the map. That would be so much better for them. They don't need to force much in this game. Sure, they have, like, Fnatic does have some good heroes, but Mouse just has the better late game overall. Completely. And they have such great split push on all their heroes.
They are rotating towards the top side. There will be a Blink initiation. Oh, no, sorry.
The
Disruption initiation. Pycat, well, he gets relocated out. They'll lose the Wisp for this, but they do save their Weaver. Nicely done.
Condolences, Misery. I really do feel for
he
Misery
is
in this game.
Just...
These are one of the worst games you can have as the Wisp.
It's like, oh, you're out of position again. Guess I gotta save you.
Yep. Like, I hate you.
Goodbye, Misery.
I know. I honestly know exactly what Misery's saying right now, probably too. He's like, damn it! God damn it! I had to use that again. I'm like, oh my god, we're losing, guys. Come on, do something. Like, and we do see. I mean, Mouse decided they're not even putting aggressive wards at all. They're completely just putting defensive wards at this point, and that's really not what they want to be doing. They want to have aggressive wards up. They want to see where Fnatic is so that they can take the advantage, see where everybody is, and just split push as much as possible. And wow, Honey buys a BKB on Puck right away.
Well,
after that blink.
Considering the matchup, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I feel like it even further limits.
Oh, Fada catches that arrow, but I don't know if they're gonna engage on it.
There's a Ravage backing this up, and Fada, he is pretty end of the day.
Yeah, he really is. I mean,
so, Puck going BKB. There is a lot of lockdown that causes him problems. Lift, Dragon Tail, Ravage. If he gets caught by any of those, and the others come out, he's gonna die.
I just don't.
But
really.
Where's your late game with this item?
I just don't
Where's your pickoff
it.
potential?
Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean. People really overlook Yules. I think Yules is an amazing item up on them. We do see a pause coming up for Fada. Something must have happened, but Yules is just such a really strong item overall on Puck. Like it's used to break the Lincolns. It's really useful versus Wisp. You just throw them in the air, or you can throw one of the other heroes in the air and just focus other people right away. So I really don't like the BKB on Puck. You don't need it. You really just don't. I mean, if he's getting caught out because of all those other heroes, that's his fault. He's really just out of position there, and he's not playing it completely properly. So, I mean, it can work. So I'm not saying it's complete garbage. And I mean, Hani knows what he's doing, and with his team, you know, it's probably going to end up being okay as long as he just survives in the team fights. They're going to be fighting that, you know, the fight of attrition.
The other thing is it's also a more expensive choice than something like a Yule Scepter. It's like, what, a solid 1,000 gold more?
Solid 1,000, yep.
Which could be the makings of, I guess it's probably too late to look towards a Dagon, but something like a Hex or a Necro Book, that might be a little bit late for that as well. But just something that scales better into the late game, mainly the Hex.
Yeah, for sure.
He can still go back for one, and looks like the pause will be very brief. We will resume. Currently, Fnatic with the slight lead, 22-18. Mouse with, by most accounts, the better late game, and the Desolator is coming soon. This is going to be a concern for the Undying. Tombstone, well, still we haven't really seen a Tombstone steal. We saw one, and then the Rubik died before getting it, but it's not going to live for that long. Yeah,
that's for sure. And I mean, playing as a support versus a Weaver, I've said this so many times too, while casting and even while playing and everything. Playing versus a Weaver once he gets that Lincoln's Deso is just like, it's awful. You're just like, I can't do anything. Like, I'm just dead. Like, if he focuses me, I just die. But they do have really good heroes for it, and we do see Fnatic just, they're sticking together. They don't want to be caught out. They're not caught out of position at all. And we do see Era go for a very greedy build, though. He doesn't decide to go for BKB at all still. He went for a Yasha after that Mjolnir, too. So, a little bit strange by him, but they just want the damage to be able to sustain in these team fights, and I can't blame him.
I think someone's got to go greedy on Fnatic. Yeah. So whether it's Hani not really going greedy, but going for something that's a little bit more offensive and just riskier, I guess, than a BKB like Yule Scepter, or even just going straight Hex. He didn't do that, but it will be Era who takes the risk. And end of the day, they need damage. This game doesn't appear to be ending anytime soon. We're 31 minutes in, and they're not going to be able to rely on the Tombstone for much longer. Desolator on the Weaver now complete. And if Fada gets any damage items, what's he sitting on right now? Mech, BKB. Yeah, he doesn't hit hard.
He's pretty poor. It's 31 minutes on that Dragon Knight. And he had a pretty good early game, honestly. He died a few times, but
it does feel like the mech pickup.
It just slows him down.
It's like an anchor around your.
It really is, and I mean,
your ankles.
Sure they did get the Blink Dagger relatively early on Tidehunter, but what did it really do? It got them in some piss poor engagements. I mean, he did get beautiful Ravages off, but that's not what they want to be doing. They don't want to be fighting so much. So a little bit strange for just going for the mech because just the way the lineup is, and we do see this Pot multi coming out for Fnatic.
Here comes the Mirana Moonlight Shadow. There's a Sentry Ward ready. Who's going to get the better jump here? That's
Misery's
the big question.
Drawing the line. He wants to get the hell out of there, and it looks like they're going to engage.
Highcat wants to go in. He'll jump directly onto Fly. Now Hani leads the way. He comes in with the ultimate. However, he's just getting melted down by the Weaver, even through the BKB. He deploys a coil. He will end up going down here. It looks like dropping very low to the. Even with the phase shift, can he retreat out? No. Falls in the end. The coil was there, but there was nothing following it up. And now the Ravage from MSS. They isolate Trixie. They bring down 2, and Fnatic just not feeling so strong anymore. You see how quick the Tombstone drops. Not that it would have mattered anyway, since they're just fighting around it, but it just melted. No Tail will be next. That's 3 dead, and Mousesports bouncing back. Wow. That's just, the Tombstone wouldn't have mattered anyway, but that thing died in like 4 auto attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the way Fnatic needs to do these team fights really is they need to keep the fight going as long as possible. And the worst part about all of it is that Trixie I don't think he got anything off.
No.
Which is really a big shocker. He didn't get his ulti off at all, and now. And
that's
Mouse,
their team
Mouse
fight.
is going to go push this. They're going to push. They're going to go high ground. They're not scared of anything. They know Venomancer's there. There's no Venom Ward set up at all. So, yeah, they have Dragon ulti up, and they're just going to hit it a few times. It's going to be wearing off. But
Fnatic
still.
have no Dream Coil. I believe Tombstone just about to cool down, but yeah, in fact, it is back online. But Desolator plus Dragon Knight, say goodbye to your tower.
Yeah, ooh, he does steal the arrow there. That's a really nice steal there for Paz.
And they'll still take the tower down, it looks like. The last hit goes the way of Pycat, and then now Mouse will retreat. But they've opened some room here on the top lane. They also get the aggressive Observer Ward down that you mentioned at the top ramp, which means if Fnatic go off on their own, that's an easy kill for a relocate.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they're probably going to get a kill just because of this ward, because you're going to see one of the supports, probably the Shadow Demon or the Undying, just walk out alone and try to get a ward into their jungle. But they do already have that one, but it's going to be expiring soon, so they're going to want to refresh their ward that they have in their own jungle, and that might be the opportunity that Mouse wants.
Fnatic played this super well after an awful laning stage. Mouse really didn't play to the strengths of their lineup and just underestimated the Undying, but this is the one issue with Fnatic's draft, is it has a lot less margin for error. Mouse make mistakes with their draft,
and it's still perfectly fine.
They just go late, get the Desolator on the Weaver, and farm towards some actual damage on Dragon Knight. Assault Caress or Shadowblade probably coming next, and if it goes another 10 minutes, Fnatic are going to have to play so much better than Mouse to take this game.
And that goes back to what I was saying, like, and even in the beginning of the draft, just looking at it, it's just like, Mouse can make a ton of mistakes this game, and they're still going to be okay. And now Fada is level 16, so he's got that Frost Dragon, and it's going to do so much in these team fights.
Do you like leveling up Frost Dragon like that? Because, I mean, it does slow down your push a bit. Sometimes you can make a case that the Dragon Knight's better off just leaving it at level 2 ultimate.
I mean,
is the slow that good this game, you think?
I mean, it's not that good this game, but overall, that Elder Dragon form is just...
Oh, yeah, in general, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, honestly. Like,
I guess they don't have to worry about a base race. Like, Fnatic is never going to be able to trade.
You're saying, you know, he should have probably left it at level 11, but, you know, if we clicked on him and he was level 16 and we see him get stats over that, we'd be like, wow, what an idiot. He didn't get his blue dragon.
I'm not saying he should have. I'm just asking you what you think.
Okay.
Jeez. Relax. Giannis, so feisty this morning.
Rough night, right? No, just kidding.
No, but Fear's the one who had the rough night.
Oh, yeah. That's for damn sure. Shots fired. No,
he's sleeping that off right now. But here comes Fnatic with the backstab. They drop the Moonlight Shadow. They make their way into the Radiant jungle. It looks like they're going to be spotted soon by an Observer Ward. And this backstab is not going to...
I was trying to see... Okay, yeah. So Hani bought a gem, and he gave it to Trixie there. So Hani's going to be super poor this game. He went for the blink.
He bought his own dust. He had trouble early, and now he's buying gem for Trixie.
Yeah, so he's going to be really underfarmed, and we do see the courier flying out with another item for Fnatic, and it's just wards. Fly just wants to get more wards down, and now maybe they're going to go try to sneak a Roshan here.
Well, it's game 1. Fnatic, after a really slow start, bounced back, looking for that next Roshan, but Mouse not going to give it up for free. They'll throw the Swarm out, just do a bit of scouting here, and now they found some openings. Era, Fly. Well, not an opening to go in, but an opening to get some positioning near the pit. The stolen arrow will fly. Barely missing Fly.
Yeah, no, they're just gonna pressure that mid tower.
I'm just nailing it today, man.
Yeah,
Killing it.
Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Free tower there.
That
for
was so bad. You just like wanted to pretend it never happened, and I would not let it. I wouldn't let it go. It had to be acknowledged.
And now, Pycat picks up his full BKB too. So I mean, I don't feel like he really needed it. I think he could have gotten like a heart. He can't really die versus their lineup, but you know what?
Against Veno,
it's being safe.
All the damage from Fnatic is the frigging Poison Nova.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you know what? BKB is a fine item choice. Like Venomancer is just so obnoxious. He really is.
I guess the thing for me is that they're just in no rush. Mouse, it felt like they were in a rush earlier when they just kept on forcing fights, but I think they've realized, you know what? Fnatic's not going anywhere late unless they get huge items up. So as long as we don't feed or we just farm our Weaver, eventually we'll be unstoppable.
They're definitely scared of that Roche though. I mean, Mouse is just, they're throwing bugs in there. They're just trying to keep like vision on that because Fnatic does have a they don't have the best lineup for it, but they do have the Medallion up on the Shadow Demon and the Venomancer. So it's a good place for them to fight, as well as the fact that they can kill it, relatively quickly. And now the farm game begins.
Bottom tower has been denied.
Nice deny there for Misery. They actually got that deny. The catapult did not secure it, thankfully. A little flame on MSS there.
And Smoke Gank now from Team Fnatic. They'll move through the middle lane, rotating towards the Roche pit. Not really the best lineup to sneak a Roche.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it's just not going to die too fast, but they don't really have any vision coming out from Mouse. They just have that one ward that you were talking about up on the ramp, and it hasn't really done anything, actually. It's just been sitting there, and they haven't
Also, Fnatic's just been 5-manning everywhere.
Exactly.
They're afraid of the relocates.
For sure, and that's what they should be. And yeah, Era does finish up his BKB now. It looks like... Does Fnatic want to fight here? A little bit strange, but I guess they might want to. They have the BKB online for the Mirana. Puck's already got the items that he's going to be getting. He's really not going to get anything else, I don't think, this game at all, unless they win a massive team fight. So, like I said, I just don't really agree with that BKB pickup. He's going to fall off so hard in this game.
Dragon Knight's finally picking up steam as well. Working towards the Assault Curse, has picked up a Plate Mail, a Chain Mail. Once he completes the AC, you throw the Desolator on top of that. Tombstone's already easy to kill, and then Heroes will become very short work for Mousesports. Not to mention, they can threaten to sneak Roche. They can also just, if they win a fight, just end the game. Take 2 lanes of Rex off of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas I feel like Fnatic, they've got to win 3-4 fights here.
You see the spam pings. Ping, 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 ping. Roshan, no. They can't get it. And yeah, they're going to start setting up for it. And if they don't, they're just going to split push as hard as possible because maybe they don't want to contest inside that Roche pit. Because that's a really... It's just an awkward place to fight. There's going to be Veno wards already set up all over the place, and then fighting into Veno wards and Tombstone is just kind of devastating, but they're pinging it. It looks like they know, and it looks like they want to go in there. They want to contest this.
Well, Pycat moving towards the pit. The Roche is dropping quite low, but they seem to be aware. They've got the relocate available top lane. Dragon Knight can join this fight. They can go in if they want to. Pycat throwing out the swarm, and now Fnatic have been spotted out. The relocate's coming from the backside of the engagement down towards the southern river. Well, looking for the opening. He goes in. Fodder with a BKB, just isolating Trixie. Poison Nova, he does manage to get it off at the last hour. Still, the Dragon Knight's going pretty strong. The Tombstone's here as well. Hasn't been focused yet. The Wisp about to die. The Veno will buy back immediately. Roche still not being killed off. It's very low. Gem hits the deck, but then MSS comes in, unloads the Ravage, and suddenly Fnatic are just in a total retreat. Fly, force back. The Dragon Knight with the haste turn, diving for Trixie. He bought back for this, but he's going to die a second time. And they're going to give up the Roche, it looks like. In the river, Pos finishes off the Shadow Demon, and the lone survivor is Fly, limps back to base. And it seems like Mouse are going to skip the Roche and just go bottom.
Patience from MSS. That
really
done.
was patience.
He was sitting there the whole time on the side, just like, I can blink and I can pipe and save Misery, or I can just wait, get a beautiful Ravage. And yeah, if we look at the teamfight recap, it's a complete disaster for Fnatic there. Everything just went in the favor for Mouse there. Even though I was saying that's not the best place for them to fight, it ended up working so well just because if they can just keep the fight going so long, Misery ended up buying out and everything, but they can just, they don't have anything to kill the Weaver. They can't kill this Weaver. There's just nothing they can do. And yeah, it looks like this is probably going to be
the early mid game with the Puck if the Puck was snowballing, but and they actually got a kill or two on Pycat when they canceled the relocate. They played against him well, but the matchup was such that they had to outplay him massively, and they just couldn't quite do it enough. And it'll be GG from Fnatic, but it was a bit of a risky draft, Giannis. End of the day, they had to get a lot more done in the laning stage than Mouse did.
I completely agree with you. And
it could have been more one-sided, too. If Mouse had just played it a bit safer and more split-pushed a lot more, played around the relocate, tried to avoid the Tombstone fights, it would have been a stop, I feel.
Fnatic did a great job, though, of just, like, they stuck together. They knew what they had to do as their lineup, but I think the lineup overall just wasn't the strongest in comparison to Mouse's. Like like I said, they have a big margin of error. They can do whatever the hell they want in this lineup.
That's always been the thing for me with Fnatic, is sometimes their drafts are amazing and sometimes they just completely flop. I wouldn't say this draft was a total flop, but it did feel a little bit less solid.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, with that being said, guys, you're watching the Summit Europe presented by Twitch. This was only game 1 of a best of 5. Well, who's going to come here to Los Angeles, buddy? You'll be waiting.
Yeah, I mean,
as well as quite a few other
I
teams.
think Mouse, they're extremely strong team. I've even said, even for the EU qualifiers and everything for TI4, they're gonna pull through. They're ready for it. They're hungry.
Yeah, to me, looking at the qualifiers, they were the strongest team for their region out of any other team.
Yeah.
And well, we'll see if that is indeed the case. They haven't qualified yet. They've still got to prove it on the field, but right now they're close to the Summit. They can smell it. They can taste it, guys. He's Fogged. I'm LD. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.